Hey Book Dragons, welcome back to my channel. Glad you could join me. Today I'm going to do some wrap-ups and some currently reading stuff, so I hope you'll stick around and see what I've been up to. Let's go. So I haven't done a wrap-up in a while. And you guys have probably been wondering, what I've been up to reading-wise. I did do a book review recently for one of the books I read in July, so I'll talk more about that here in a minute. Hello, Ari. How are you? Okay, you guys want to see Ari? There's Ari again. She's joining us today. Mwah. All right, so yeah, sit right there. I will pet you. You're fine. So I am doing just a wrap-up mainly for July, and I'm going to talk about the books I'm reading in August. But June was kind of an unproductive month for me. I got a couple of books read in June, so I'm just going to talk briefly about that. That's why I didn't really do a wrap-up for June. So we'll talk briefly about June. We'll get into July, and then we'll talk about what I'm currently reading for August, okay? So here we go. I read All These Worlds by Dennis E. Taylor. It's the third book in the Bobiverse series. And I read Brief Lives by Neil Gaiman, which is the seventh volume of the Sandman graphic novel series. And that was it. See, I told you, June sucked. I didn't get much reading done at all. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But if you want to see the geek out I did for book 3 of the Bobiverse, you can check out that video. I'll link it in the description below and in the cards at the end. And we'll move on from there. So July was a very productive month for me. I read, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 books in July. Now granted, some of those were audiobooks, so don't shoot me. I still count those as books. In July, I read A Change of Plans. It's an audiobook. It's a novella, actually, by Dennis E. Taylor. And it's about what happens when you're on the brink of new discoveries in the universe, and then all of a sudden you've got a mutiny on your hands. And it kind of felt like maybe it could be a prequel to the Bobiverse, but it's not technically, or at least as far as I know it's not, but it felt very Bobiverse-ish, if that makes sense. So it's a really good novella. I highly recommend it. It was in the Audible Plus catalog, so it was free. I didn't have to spend a credit on it, so I read it and then moved on. So you can check that out. I also downloaded and listened to The Little Book of Hygge, which is a book about living your life in a Danish way. I am very fascinated by the Danish way of lifestyle, and Scandinavian countries in general tend to be some of the happiest countries in the world. So I like to geek out about happiness and stuff that helps make you more happy. I'm pretty interested in stuff like that. So I wanted to read that, and it was good. It was a good book. I gave it 3 stars. A lot of good information in it, but I don't know if I'd read it again. The next book I read was Wizard and Glass, 4th book in the Dark Tower series, and I absolutely loved it. This series just keeps getting better and better and better, guys. I'm just absolutely thrilled with it. So I'm looking forward to continuing that, and I'll talk about that here in just a few minutes. 10 arguments for deleting your social media right now. You may or may not be familiar with Jaron Lanier. He is often featured on different documentaries that talk about social media. He's a really cool guy. The book was good. It was some good information, but I kind of tend to like to watch him speak rather than read his writing, if that makes sense. So, and I find that with a lot of nonfiction type of material. Sometimes documentaries are my preference over nonfiction books, or over reading about the subject, if that makes sense. So, I also downloaded and listened to The Tao of Pooh. It is a book about Taoism told from the perspective of Winnie the Pooh and his friends. And it was an entertaining read. It was very cute, I would say, in many respects. And the author really tried to portray how the philosophies of Winnie the Pooh really align with a more Taoist worldview, and I definitely agree. I think that's true, but the book overall was just okay. I gave that a 3 stars as well, and I probably won't read it again. So, The Stone Sky by N.K. Jemisin. This is probably in competition with Wizard and Glass for my favorite read of July. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. It's the final book in the Broken Earth saga by N.K. Jemisin, and wow, it was just a really great ending, and I can't say more good about it. I did do a review for it. At some point in the future, I hope to do a Why You Should Read video for the Broken Earth trilogy. I think that might be fun. If you think that might be fun, leave your comment down below in the comments and let me know that's something you're interested in. But I do think I will probably end up doing that at some point. And the final book I read in July was Nightmare by Chad Nicholas. It is his debut novel. It is a very short book, just a little over 250 pages. And it's a horror novel, which I'm not usually into, but I thought it was really, really well done, and I just could not put it down. I read it in 24 hours. I will do a review for that. You will be getting that this week, actually, on Friday. So stay tuned for that, and you'll be getting that. So that was my month of July. Now let's talk about August, what I'm currently reading, and some of my plans for what I hope to read once I finish those books. So I'm currently reading Foundation by Isaac Asimov. I am really enjoying it. It's a really unique book. I wasn't quite expecting it to be the way it is. So far I'm really enjoying it, though. It's written from several different perspectives, separated by several years. So you've got a lot of time jumps in the book. You follow one character, and then 50 years later, now you're following another character, and about 50 years later, I expect there will be another character that we're following, and so it seems to be going that trajectory, but I am really, really enjoying it. And the other book I'm reading currently is The Starless Sea by Aaron Morgenstern. I was blown away by how good The Night Circus was, and I wanted to read The Starless Sea, so I am reading it. It's our August read for the Dragon's Library Book Club, which if you have not joined the book club, you should. The link is in the description below. You can check that out and join us there. It's just a really, really good book so far. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I couldn't be happier that I picked it up. It's intriguing, it's different, it's witty, it's mysterious, and I really like mysterious books. So that has me pretty excited. So that is what I'm currently reading for August. After I finish one of those two books, I'm probably going to wait till I finish Foundation, because I'm reading Foundation on my Kindle, and I need to read this next book on my Kindle. That is The Wind Through the Keyhole by Stephen King. It is technically book number 8 in the Dark Tower saga, but chronologically it falls before the 5th book. So I'm going to read that in August as well. Hopefully, that's the plan. I'm pretty sure I'll get around to it. And I'm also hoping to read another volume of Sandman. I want to get to volume 8 of Sandman and possibly even do volume 9. So that's some lofty goals for August, but if July is any indication, I think I can pull it off. What do you think? Don't lose faith in me here, folks. Come on, the answer you should be giving that question is, you can do it, Chaz. And I certainly hope I can. So, anyway, so I hope you enjoyed that. Make sure to stick around. Like I said, Friday on my channel, you're going to get my book review for Nightmare by Chad Nicholas. And on Saturday, Saturday, I am celebrating my 2-year anniversary on BookTube. And that means, by popular request, you are getting a live stream from me. I will be answering some questions that people have already provided me. I will also answer new questions that are posed to me in that live stream, so you don't want to miss out. If you have not asked me a question yet, but you have something burning you want to ask, come to my live stream and let me know. I would be more than happy to have you. I will be talking about some of my future plans for the channel. I will be doing the Q&A as I mentioned, and I will be eating a cupcake. Or maybe 2. At least 1. I should probably stick to 1. But I'll probably want 2. They're small, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'll settle for 2. We'll see how the live stream progresses and how much of a sugar rush I need. All right, guys. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you're reading more books, and I will talk to you soon.